All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, as you can see in the title, be careful with retaliation. Okay, be careful with retaliation. And this is a lesson inspired by a conversation, that we were having, myself and a few other brothers, dealing with the topic of retaliation, and more so, the Lord retaliating on the behalf, okay, or on our behalf. I'm sure brothers have different testimonies on different events that have happened in their life, okay, where either they were in a certain situation, a bind, a tough situation, and the Lord had some way, somehow they made it through. Okay, but more specifically, maybe in a situation where you felt uncomfortable, or you got really offended or hurt or angry, due to the actions of another. And instead of getting carnal and physically taking actions, matters into your own hands, which could have led to an unfavorable result, you pray to the Lord, and then you let the Lord handle it. Okay, and lo and behold, whatever the situation is, it gets taken care of. But the thing about it is that when the Lord deals with people, it's on a very, the Lord can be very drastic with it. Okay, put it like that. So that's why I titled it "Be Careful with Retaliation," and not in the sense of, more so in the sense of, obviously it applies to us as well, but people in general have to be careful with what they say to certain people, because not we are not all created equal. Okay, there's the raw truth, and the Lord deals with certain individuals differently than others, right? So as I'm about to read here in the book of Matthew 18:6, it says, "But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, okay, well, which believe in me," so really the elect, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck. And this is Yahweh Shai saying this, okay, red letter. A millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. So not that he was tossed in there for a bit and then taken back out, or toward, no, he was drowned. That means death by drowning in the depth of the sea. Okay, not in shallow waters. And that's a very that's a very serious threat right there. Now when you look up the word offend, it goes into putting a stumbling block before somebody, or that kind of situation. But one of the definitions here is also, it says, since one who stumbles or whose foot gets entangled feels annoyed. And then it says here, to cause one displeasure at a thing, to make indignant. All right, which is uh like the word indignation. So angry, indignant. All right, as you can see, it says feeling or showing anger or annoyance at what is perceived as unfair treatment. Okay, you also have to be displeased or indignant. So the Lord let it be known, and this is a an example of how the Lord feels about his elect, how protective the Lord is. So when people offend you, or they really do something, and that's why we have to be careful with each other. Okay, you don't want to offend a brother. Okay, to the point where the Lord gets pissed off, and then he does, because hey, take a look at the example, Miriam and Aaron, and when the things they were saying to Moses, the Lord got pissed off, and then he struck Miriam with leprosy. Okay, even though the Lord was still, at the end of the day, using them, Okay, in the sense of they weren't on his left hand side, but yet look at how he punished Miriam. So the Lord can still punish you, but when it comes to people in the world, when the Lord gets down, he gets down. So you better hope and pray. You know what I mean? You better hope and pray that you're not offending the wrong person. And through that anger, through that offense, through that deep indignation they have in their spirit, they send up a prayer to the Lord. That's your ass. Okay? Because that you're gonna feel something is gonna happen to you. Okay, something is gonna happen to you. We have that divine protection. As a matter of fact, this is the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Okay. And and the Lord does find that righteous because we're servants of the Lord. We are considered the Lord's little ones. So for you to trouble us, to offend us, to displease us, to piss us off, because those that are truly serving the Lord are not going to be going around being troublemakers. See, it's a different thing if you go and cause trouble and it comes back on you. You did that. That's on you. You got to deal with it. Suck it up. But as where somebody is going out their way to vex you or make your life, displeasurable and add more vexation to your spirit, the Most High is going to deal with them because now they're troubling the little ones of the Lord, and He is going to bring tribulation upon them, greatly. And it's best when you may be very angry, very upset, but the best way is when you leave it to the Lord. And the Lord might not do something to the individual right away, or the group of individuals, or whoever it is, but He might not do something to them right away. But eventually, something will happen because the Lord doesn't take our prayers and our feelings for granted. There's a scripture that talks about how the Spirit groans with words that cannot be uttered. So there's times when you might get so pissed, but you might not say anything. But your spirit conveys all that needs to be said to the Lord. And once that happens, well, then there's trouble. There's trouble in paradise. You take the account of let's get that real quick of Elisha. Let's see, bald head. Because that's what those children were saying to him as they mocked him, right? So this is the book of Second Kings, chapter 2, verse um verse 19. It says, and the men of the city said unto Elisha, behold, I pray thee, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord seeth, but the water is not, and the ground barren. And he said, bring me a new cruse, and put salt therein. And they brought it to him. And he went forth unto the spring of the waters, and cast the salt there, and said, thus saith the Lord, I have healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren land. So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha which he spake. And he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came 4 little children out of the city and mocked him. Now, mind you, like I was saying earlier, Elisha didn't go around and provoke these children and all of these things. As a matter of fact, he just performed a miracle in the name of the Lord to benefit the city. But it says they came 4 little children. Now, we know really you're a man when you're about what, 12 years old or so. So as they're referred to here as children, they had to be youthful, yeah, young ones, right? Acting a fool. It says, and mocked him, and said unto him, go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. So they were making fun of Elisha, okay, because of the way he looked. Going to show you that they didn't even have respect, for the prophets, okay, at least as they should have. But when we look up the word mocked, right, and he went up onto Bethel, and he was going up by the way, da 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 da. Right. So the word mock, we have qualas. It says to mock, to scoff, to mock, deride, make fun of. So these children were making fun of a man of the Lord, right? And let's see, ridicule. So let's see what happened as a result to these children for making fun of a man of the Lord, for offending him. Because that's what happened. And it goes to show you that you got people that think that the prophets, you can't use what they call today cuss words, and you can't talk about anything. Nah, yo, my man, the prophets were men. Okay, just like you get angry, the prophets got angry. You get pissed, the prophets got pissed. You get offended, the prophets got offended. We all got emotions, but obviously, you stay as spiritual as possible. But we're still men. So Elisha got offended. It says, and he turned back and looked on them. See, he turned back and looked on them. So he turned back, and you could tell that he was pissed, right? He looked at those children. It says, and cursed them in the name of the Lord. Oh, these kids, huh? You done thrown away your future. That's it. So Elisha turned, looked at him, and cursed. So when you let me stop. Let me gather my bearings. Elisha didn't necessarily call bears on them. He cursed them in the name of the Lord. And well, I mean, it doesn't say that explicitly that he called the bears, but when he put that curse on them in the name of the Lord, this was the event that followed. This was the consequence. This is the action the Lord took on Elisha's behalf. This is why I titled the lesson "Be Careful with Retaliation," meaning not from the perspective of Elisha, but from the perspective of one that offended him. You have to be careful of the retaliation, because when the Lord brings it down, it's he the Lord don't play, and he doesn't give a damn how old you are. Why didn't the Lord? Oh, damn, let's show man. They just kids. Come on, man. You can't just let it go. Come on, they just kids, man. They got a whole future ahead of them. The Lord didn't give a damn, because the Lord cared about Elisha. That's his servant. And it doesn't matter. You a kid, you an old man, you a woman, you a child, you a baby in the womb, right? They mocked the messenger of the Lord. They offended him, and he turned back and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth two she bears out of the wood, and tear 40 and two children of them. Hold on, wait a minute. See, this is why we got to analyze these precepts. You know what I mean? Sometimes your memory will tell you one thing, but you got to really come back and analyze. Remember, it says, um, when you read up in the 23rd verse, right? It says, there came forth little children out of the city. It doesn't say how much. Maybe it was 42 exactly. Maybe it was less. Maybe it was more. Who knows? But we know the consequence was two she bears came out of the wood and tear 40 and two children of them. Tore their asses up. And maybe I need to paint this image in your head. You get a nice, good image. Let's take a look at a she bear. Images. Of course. I mean, and this is going to show you we're in Esau's world. What type of shit is this? You going, man, shit. Let me just see. Bear growling. Okay, you take it. There you go. You see something like this, right? You see a nice ferocious bear. They in the cartoons they paint them like they some Yogi Bear and shit. No, 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 dog. Ain't no Yogi Bear out here. Okay, you see something like this charging at you, with them sharp teeth, and they sit. You know what they call it? They call it maul. You get mauled. So those 42 children, they got mauled by two she bears, and bears are fast. Don't let their size fool you. Bears are fast. So they came up in there and they tear them children up. Right? It says, and he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria. Business as usual. See? This is why you don't offend the servants of the Lord. You don't offend the little ones of the Lord, because when there's power, man. When you send up them prayers, or you because Elisha didn't just curse them for fun. He did it in the anger that he was in. And the Lord felt that, heard that, and responded accordingly. And likewise, when we get offended, we get hurt. Not just saying that somebody, looks at you the wrong way, they exhale and the air blows past your ear. Shalak but you know what I mean? You just here it is, you on the train, you late for work, the train is packed, and next thing you know, you throwing out, you know what I'm saying, curses all over this. No, it doesn't mean that. Okay. But in cases like this, where you're truly really bothered by this, whoever it is that's causing that has to be very careful, man. Because when, like I said, when the Lord steps into it, it's not the Lord doesn't chill. Okay, he doesn't chill. He lets it be known. The Lord goes in. Okay. Um, so now this is the book of Deuteronomy 32 and 35. It says, to me belongeth vengeance. You gotta let the Lord deal with it. Take a look at David and King David and Nabal. King David wanted to go and put them all to death, but the Lord had to where, he got his wrath got pacified and the Lord took care of it. And still took Nabal's ass out anyway. Okay, so you got to understand that. Look, when you pray to the Lord and you leave it up to the Lord, it will be taken care of. It may be a couple months. You may not even see the person anymore, but best believe the Lord will do something to them. See, and you don't have to pay the consequence of having to get your hands dirty and doing all of this. No, pray to the Lord and let the Lord take care of it. But whoever it is has to be very careful, man. Be very, very careful. So it says, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. So the Lord, to the Lord belongeth vengeance. And he will be glad, right? Remember, but going back to 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6, seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So if somebody's troubling you, okay, and usually it's certain cases it's people that are without, people that are in the world, and they just really do what it do. And sometimes the Lord might have them do that so you can get prayed to the Lord so he can bring judgment on them. Okay, now the last precept I had here is in the book of Ecclesiasticus 35 and 16. It says, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds till it come nigh. He will not be comforted and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and what? Execute judgment. So the prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. That's the point right there. Okay, meaning that when the humble, when the little ones, when the elect pray to the Lord, it goes straight to the Lord. It's like express delivery. It goes straight to the Lord and it gets addressed with, with urgency. So if it's like a cry of distress, Lord, this person is really really troubling me, man. Like they're really, and you pray to the Lord in the bitterness of your soul. Oh, that person needs to watch out, man. They need to watch out. They need to be very careful because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, there's a reason why the Lord said it had been better that a millstone were cast about their neck. The Lord said it had been better. The best case scenario for your ass, if you offend one of his little ones, is that a millstone were cast about your neck and you were thrown into the deepest, drowned in the deepest part of the ocean. Okay? And here it is. You got today people go around left and right offending. Offending left and right. I was watching a stream. I forgot what stream it was. It was a premiere or one of the elders premiere, and you had this individual. He's been popping up recently on different elder streams. I think his name is King David. That's what he put it as. Probably not. Probably is a scoffer, and he just comes on there just like talking. Extremely arrogantly, proud. Saying all manner of disrespectful things against the elders and so on and so forth. And these things can be considered offensive. And for people like that, man, you may not take it light. You may take it lightly, but the Lord does not. Okay, the Lord does not. The Lord ain't. Who's gonna tell the Lord to chill? So be very, very careful, man. Be very careful what you say about who, because they may not do anything to you, but the Lord is always watching and he's always listening. Just like if you had a son or a child and somebody threatens them, or tries to harm them or stresses them out, even if the child is like willing to let it go, you're not, and you're gonna see to it that that stops. Imagine you find out that your child is getting bullied at school and the child is not doing anything. What are you gonna do? You gonna sit there? Oh, it's okay, son. Suck it up. No, you're gonna make sure that that stops. You're gonna see to it. You're gonna go to the extent necessary. Your child comes home with a black eye one day, and you find out he got beat up, he got bullied, and you gonna sit there and what? Rub your thumbs together? No, you're gonna make sure that what the right thing that needs to be justice comes forth, and it better not be a man of the Lord's household either, because at that point, well, we just read what happened. Okay, so just like that, when we get troubled, the Lord the Lord takes care of it. Okay, the Lord takes care of it. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 19 and I'm close it out. It says here, till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, and to the works of men according to their devices, till he have judged the cause of his people and made them to rejoice in his mercy. And ultimately, the Lord's going to do that on a grand scale, dealing with Israel and against our oppressors. Okay, but I was doing this lesson more on an individual level. Okay, so remember that we have power with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. The fact that we can pray to the Lord is a very effective tool that we use. The Lord is our security. He is our shield. He is our buckler, but He is also our protector. Okay, so remember that we're not out here by ourselves. We're not left helpless. We have a defense, and that's the Lord. Okay, um, that's it. That's it. That's it. Cool. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna end it here. Those are the precepts that I had on here, and through the Spirit, I just wanted to go into this lesson, just to let it be known, man, that you got to be very careful. Okay, you got to be very careful who you offend, what you say. Okay, because when the Lord retaliates on the behalf of His little ones, that is a very, very deadly situation, and you might lose your life, or the Lord might hit you with something worse. The Lord might make you paraplegic and make you suffer and really go through it. So be very careful. Anyway, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.